Things going. Sorry, I was not supposed to be logged in as host, but I will grant it to you in a moment. You can go.
All right, cool. We are, whoops, I am muted. Right. Great. We are recording, I see. Awesome. Anyway, good morning, release team. It is Monday, October 28th. This is week 6 of the Kubernetes 1.17 release. Please put your name in the attendance sheet. And also let us know if you are giving the update. Right next to the update, just put your name and handle just so we can keep track of who did what when. Also, at this point, I will remind you we are under the Kubernetes Code of Conduct. Treat each other with kindness, and let's get this started with enhancements.
I'm gonna jump the line if you don't mind. I actually have a call afterwards.
Yep.
So for branch management, we'll be doing the 1.17 beta 0 tomorrow. This will be our special cut because this will be the first time that we're actually cutting the release branches as well as establishing the test jobs for 1.17 on that branch. I'm going to be finding a time. I got to look at my calendar when I get back to the computer when we can do a recording. And I'll send out a calendar invite for that. It seems like people are interested in seeing the live stuff again. So I will do, this time the recording will be of the release process itself, not the staging stuff. I'll do the staging ahead of the recording. That way we can walk through the release as well as the branch cut, as well as the creation of all the PRs, which is fun because it only happens once a cycle, right? So it's easy to replicate the other stuff, but the job creation, all that stuff only happens once a cycle. So it'd be good to record it. That is all I got. If anyone has questions, let me know.
One, two, three, great. Stephen, if you wouldn't mind, could you write, I know it's just the beginning of the meeting, but if you or some note taker could update your spot on the sheet. Do we have a note taker?
Yep. When I hop out of computer, I'll drop that in.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate it. Bye. Okay, let's hear from enhancements. Bob, do you want to give enhancements update, or do we have, I hear we have a lot of shadows on the call today, so.
Jeremy, you still up for it?
Sure.
Go for it.
All right. So the status is pretty much the same as last week. The biggest change so far is that number 565, the CSI block storage support has been deferred to 118. They didn't think they were going to get enough testing in before the end of the code freeze, so they've deferred to 118. Everything else is still pretty much the same as last week. We're still tracking 44 things now instead of 45. 19 stable, 13 will be going to beta, and 12 will be launching into alpha.
That's very exciting. Awesome. Next, CI signal with Nikolaos. Is that how you say your name?
Yeah. So hello guys. So Elena is unavailable today, so I'm going to be doing the report today. Okay, let's begin with, we are green in general. So there are a couple of flaky jobs that we still are trying to monitor them and fix them if there is a possibility to fix them. So let's start with master blocking. We have node Kubernetes master is failing. We have an issue open, the 84236, but there is no response yet. We still, we already pinged the responsible people, so we hope that the next days they try to check it out. We have also the Windows master failing. That one, there is an already PR open for the fix. The last activity of this PR was 20 hours ago. It was a review activity, so we believe that the next days this will be fixed as well. So in the master reforming, 9 flaky jobs. and only one job is failing, and this one is related to an issue 84151, which this should be already fixed, and we consider that this failure is flake, so we're going to keep monitor it, and if it's okay, tomorrow we can close it. And pretty much that's all. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, if it's still flaking tomorrow, that last one, please ping me on Slack and let me know.
Okay.
Because we do want to keep an eye on that. I also have put a bookmark onto the Sake Node one because Sake Node has the most code and the fewest maintainers, and we want to make sure that that we check that out and follow up. Cool. So there's some flaky jobs as well. Is there anything that you know about that?
Actually, these flaky jobs, like they are starting flaking time to time. Sometimes they are green, sometimes they are flaky. We have a few issues open for flaky jobs, but not for all of them. But all of the others are still monitoring them, and in case we found a better way how to fix it and stop the flakiness, we are going to do it. So we are going to see the next days. Right? This is like a temporary situation, right?
Okay, great. So just keeping an eye on it as well, since we are going to create tests for 117. So that's going to be exciting. Awesome. Thank you so much. Any questions for Nicolas? Thanks. Awesome. Let's go on with bug triage. Bug triage with Sylvia. Yeah.
Hi. So for bug triage this week, we are all green. So we have been pinging all active issues for the past week, and we got a few responses so far, but we'll ping again next week if it's needed. And looking at our stats, so we have 48 open issues for non-tests or flakes. And of these, we have 4 critical urgent and 21 important soon. For open PRs, we have 49, with 1 that is critical urgent and 31 that are important soon. And overall, we have 58 open issues. So we see some reduction in the number overall of issues and open PRs. And we will keep on top of the situation.
Very good. Looking pretty typical. So thank you so much.
Ooh.
Any questions for Zydia? Okay. Let's hear from Vineet about docs.
Hello everyone. So docs team, we are just following up with the enhancements for the docs PR placeholder deadline, and the team is following up with the enhancements. We don't have any major update at this point.
Great. Sounds good. Any questions for docs? All right, moving on to release notes. There were some updates last week, and I apologize. I should have followed up a little bit with the release notes themes, but let's see what release notes and comms have to say this week.
Yeah, hope everyone had a good weekend. I don't have any updates on the themes today, but that's something I need to work with comms a little bit closely with to sort that out. As for updates for this week, we got the Alpha 2 and 3 release notes up on the Rel Notes website. The link is in the doc. I want to thank Bridget and Jeff for helping out getting those out. As well as Sasha was able to help sort out one of Tim's issues that he had last week, number 8899. So the link is in the doc for that. We're going to hopefully look at the other issues that Tim pointed out last week as well. Just time's been a little restricted lately, so that's where we're at for that. Otherwise, we're looking green.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Oh, my pleasure.
I did look at the release notes and the enhancements sheet last week, and kind of, so I feel like one of the major things that I saw just from glancing at it is that we're going to have a lot of exciting things going on for Windows related updates. Right? Am I totally off base?
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, I think that I don't know, when I try and get something started, it's always hard to find that very first thing. So I feel like that would be an awesome thing for comms and release notes to start hacking on. Anyway, next, comms.
I can give an update on behalf of David. My name is Imran. Hi, I'm in Shadow. So I got an update from David that the status is yellow. We've reached out to the CNCF to sort out communications. We've got an out of office reply, so that's yellow status. Hopefully that's a minor blip, and next week we'll be back to green.
What specifically is there something you need help with, or is this more like a wait and see? We don't have communication right now.
I'm afraid I don't have much clarity. I just returned back from vacation, so.
Okay, great. Let's keep an eye on it. If you have any updates during the week, just feel free to ping me on Slack or send a message to Sig Release.
Definitely.
And at me. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Great. We already heard from Stephen, who's somehow still on the call in shadow mode. Claire, hi. We haven't seen you in a bit.
Yes. Hello, everyone. No updates from me this week, but folks, feel free to reach out to me if you need anything Emeritus lead updatey like.
Any questions for Claire? Okay, as for my updates, I believe I'm next. Yes. So, Stephen already mentioned that we're having upcoming patch releases. Wait, actually he didn't. So Stephen already mentioned that we're going to cut beta this week, tomorrow, which is super exciting. There's also going to be patch releases planned for, but that's in a couple weeks. That's November 8th, I believe, if I have this right. Yes, November 8th. And we are, as of this week, no longer supporting 1.13. We will also start removing tests for 1.13 this week. So that is exciting. I want everyone to realize that we are beginning burn down next week, Monday, November 4. It will be week 7, and we will start with Monday, Wednesday, Friday meetings. Look out for those popping up on your calendar. Let's see. Other than that, that would be all of my updates for this week. So get ready for burn down. First stage of burn down, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do we have, actually, that's a good point. I may want to have one of those meetings be a little bit earlier for the EU folks. And as far as I know, we should be back to regular sync with daylight saving time next week. I think daylight saving ends in the US this coming weekend. So if anyone has input, please let me know, async or speak up. Other than that, I'll leave it at 9 a.m. Pacific. So let me know if you want something earlier. Great. Let's see, where were we? And then we have some updates from Sake Scalability, and I apologize, I am literally just reading these now. We have several fixes and one issue, and I will go and follow up with CI Signal on that. What we also still need to do is actually meet with them in person. That's an action item for me. All right, open discussion. Anybody have concerns, comments? I already mentioned I do want to make sure that we meet with Sake Scalability, but it seems difficult to get them to find a time. And Elena is on vacation today, so I'll follow up with her later in the week. All right, let's walk the board. Give me a second. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome, thank you. Great. So we have only 7 in progress. There are still some release retrospective action items. Let me leave that for the end. Actually, I'm just going to move that to the bottom of the column. Can I do that? No? Ugh. Okay.
It'll get messed up again. Don't even sweat it.
All right. Let's see. Investigate automation to facilitate tracking spreadsheets. Bob, do we have updates on
Yep,
that?
I dumped a fairly big post on that, which is sort of the updates to the current enhancement tracking sheet. I will leave all the stuff regarding the bug triage sheet to why am I brain farting right now?
Josiah.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Can we get updates to the so the bug tracking as well as the I know there's some CI signal automation that could probably be documented somewhere.
Let's see. 1 second. Am I still? Yes. Let's go ahead and ping bug triage and CI signal on that issue. I'm just making a note for myself. Awesome. Any follow-up questions? Let's see. Let's actually open that. Okay.
It's a little wordy.
Yeah. All right. Good. We don't need to read the whole thing right now, but thank you so much for getting this started. And oh, good. You only commented yesterday, so I was out in the woods. I feel so much better about not having seen this until this morning. Great. Thanks, Bob. I'll follow up on that, and we should ping some of the other teams to see if they can use that workflow. Document membership criteria. Was that one of mine? No.
That's on Locky. I think Locky is full of breadsticks right now. He might not be available.
Is he no longer trying now that he's a citizen? Is that what's happening?
So this is something I mentioned at the start of the cycle. This is what usually happens. Once you fall off of the release team, your issues should probably pass on to the your successors.
Yeah.
So if you or someone on the release team lead side wants to pick that up.
Yeah. I have to give a KubeCon talk about this anyway, so you know, that'll be good. Let's see. We have Let me actually, let me just go ahead and assign myself for now so that it's on my sheet and unassign. There we go. Boom, done. At least there's a little bit of movement on it. Document criteria by which we decide this is a CI thing. And our CI lead is not here today, but perhaps one of the shadows can update.
I'm actually the one working on that one with them, and I think I have a PR at the bottom that's waiting for further review or approval.
Oh, that's the one. Fantastic. All right.
Yes. I pinged a ton of people, so please take a look at it.
Yeah, I think I'll have some time to take a look at that this week.
Yay! Fantastic. Right. So let's go ahead and put that into right here, yeah? Boom. Shadow Halo process.
Give that to someone on your team. That's also lucky.
Yeah.
Can I take it, please?
Yeah. Sure.
Please and thank you.
Thanks, George. Go away. I am good at GitHub. There we are. Honestly, that part of the UI is my least favorite, but you didn't hear me say it in public. PR boilerplate to improve release notes. Oh yeah, this one. What's happening?
So I think same status as last time. I have to, again, this is something I think I'll have time this week. We basically have to open up either an issue or a full PR on creating a kind deprecation label, and then kind of dropping some notes in regarding the code blocks on that. This should be handled by automation and not an additional code block. So
yeah, awesome. That's right. I remember this. Thank you, Stephen. Add information about what qualifies for a milestone. I feel like over the last few cycles, we have used milestones more consistently. So we have not a lot of progress on this. Who's assigned? Wah!
Wait, hold on. There's a PR that Tim linked that's merged. Maybe that covers it.
Add words on cherry pick review process.
Not quite. Not quite.
So this is a documentation for the release team. Oh, Jeff. All right, I'll follow up with Jeff.
He's back from Disney, just assign him all the things.
This is fine. This is good. No, it's nice to have an assignee on there that's not me. It's great. Love it. All right, and then we were going to have some kind of bulk update on the release retrospective items. There are...
Oh, please no. I have not had a chance to go through this stuff.
Same. I have not either. Last week was a little bit crazy.
So I'm essentially trying to land a bunch of things before code freeze. So my PR documentation stuff has been minimal and it's been more commit focused. But I should, again, have time this week to start banging out some of that stuff. Not completing it, but at least tying issues to all of these things. A lot of these are already in progress.
Yes,
so.
Yeah, I know. And feel free to go ahead and communicate in SIG release and tag people when you're doing this, just so that we can stay. I mean, yes, everyone can go read this issue, but at the same time, it's nice to just kind of have a little bit of ping back on like, hey, I'm doing this, or who was it that did this kind of thing. So anyway, feel free to loop me into that and add me. That's fine. Okay. I have, sorry.
Actually, I was going to say, Claire, are you still here?
She had to drop off.
Okay, cool. I was going to say maybe this is a good emeritus-y kind of thing to work on.
Do you want to get in touch with her on that?
Yeah, I'll ping her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, really quick question. Sorry for interrupting.
No, absolutely.
One of the first items in the retrospective for 115, I believe, is having 3 meetings between release and scalability. Is that something that we still want to do in the future? Right now, as it stands out, we could possibly do 2 or maybe 1 for this
absolutely
cycle.
Want at least 2.
Yeah, I have assigned this to Elena last week and have not gotten an update, and she's not here today.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where we will not be able to have 2 for this cycle.
Right.
So.
And I mean, I've been trying to make this happen for weeks now, and it's always just kind of.
Is this an escalation? Do you want me to knock down their door?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, got it.
If you know the right people and can make this happen, because yeah, I mean, tell them that I want it, but every time I talk to them, it's like, yeah, here's updates. So the updates have been consistent and helpful.
Where are these updates?
They are on the sheet right here. Let's see, let me move this over. We have Sake Scalability Updates, and they've been sending actually a different person each week to go and update this. And they've been working with CI signal async. So this is an improvement as far as I'm concerned. They may have gotten the impression that we don't need a face-to-face.
Okay, so that's not what was said in our previous meetings with them. So,
right.
CI signal, do you feel like you're getting adequately served by scalability right now?
Well, it seems that they are answering our calls, right? So every time that we have an issue that needs to be fixed, there are people that are trying to work on it. So I think that the cooperation is like it's getting better every day. I don't know if we still need the face-to-face meetings, but I don't know. Maybe the meetings are good enough to get to know each other and have a better communication. I don't know. So
yeah, that's kind of what it was about. But if you're getting updates from them, then I feel less worried. I still am going to have a chat with them.
Yeah, face-to-face meetings are always good, you know. So I'm +1 for the meetings. But if the rest of the guys that think that it's not necessary, we are good too. You know?
Yeah, I do feel like the communication and the signal back and forth has improved. Since we've gone like, we need help on this issue, we have this, and they've been sending updates pretty consistently the last 3 weeks. So in that sense, we have seen improvements. Just it's the meeting time that's been not quite happening.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So just to go off track for a little bit on my question, I was asking for the sake of documentation. I wanted to make an update for the release team, for the release team handbook. So should I say something like at least 2 meetings per cycle?
At least 2 meetings.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Cool. Let's go back here. Actually, let's go ahead and do 2 meetings. Can I add it? I can add it, right? Does this work? Ha, yes.
Yeah, I would, sorry, I would say at least 2, ideally 3. I feel like a monthly cadence is reasonable for the quarter.
Awesome. So that is the last in progress item. Do we have more comments on in progress?
Are there new cards to pull in?
Let me check. We have 2 on the backlog. We have 2 to-dos. I have not split. I have not
Sorry,
followed up on this.
sorry, cards to actually add to the board. So if you X out of, yeah, and just
Not that I know of. Let's see.
hit add.
Hit what?
Top right,
Yeah.
and just see if there's anything here to pull in. All right, so that's a new one.
Oh, God.
Drag it back into the card section, and then scroll your screen over.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not great.
I'm learning so much. I'm going to give feedback. Awesome. Document criteria. Yeah, this is a pull request though. This is related. This is linked to
Pull that in. Pull requests and an issue should be on the board.
Okay. Let's pull that into in progress because pull request. Document reason for inclusion of release blocking jobs. This one is done, right?
Yeah, that's done.
So,
There's so I think Marco didn't have access to the Kubernetes announce. So I was going to do an announcement, but the beta is tomorrow, so I'm just gonna skip it.
so shall we like just close it and put it in done to pat ourselves on the back?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Oh, whoops, I can actually close from there. Cool, close. And then
Make sure you also drag it in.
Boom. Improved doc release handbook.
Can you pull that to 117? Sorry, the alpha 3.
Sure. This one needs to have a milestone. And I'm going to put that into to-do. And then this is the CI related thing. I'm going to put this into the backlog for now. But
That's in progress.
Is it in progress?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's actually set as in progress on the release engineering board.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
So maybe it should be on release engineering.
It's fine to be on both because I think, you know.
We still want to keep track of
exactly. Yeah.
ones for sure. Okay, great. Thank you for those updates, Stephen. Really appreciate it.
Actually, one quick thing. I don't know if we want to leave it on the backlog or whatever, but I did comment on the handling the exceptions.yaml.
Awesome.
Honestly, at this point, without further automation, it seems kind of redundant. We're keeping track of everything in the sheet. We have keeping track of everything on the mailing list.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So the mailing list is the mailing list is supposed to inform the sheet, right? Or is supposed to inform the exceptions.yaml. What we do afterwards is a question mark. Do we want to pull this in to a site or something? That's kind of what this issue is about.
Okay.
So I mean, it's lived for I don't know how many cycles. If we want to close this out, I'm not opposed to it.
It's something I potentially like revisit when we actually have some more automation in place.
Do we want to freeze it and leave it in the backlog?
So my thing would be to close it, but if we do that, we also have to basically follow up with documentation, right? Because
yeah, if we close it, we lose it.
Yeah. Well, basically just like make a change in the enhancements handbook that says, hey, listen, we don't really want to do this anymore. Right? We can't just close it out and then just leave everything, because then the next enhancements lead is going to be like, what about exceptions? So I'm just going to write a couple of notes here. Given the lack of automation,
like the reason this is around is the enhancement tracking spreadsheet is not useful to a robot, right?
Sure.
So
sure. But given that we don't have any automation right now, this issue until vision exists.
So where so you're saying it's on the sheet now? The list of exceptions?
So what, sorry.
Go for it.
Usually what winds up happening is once the enhancement is accepted, it's just flipped to tracked and tracked as normal.
Right, but that doesn't give you a readout of each of the enhancements for the cycle. That's the reason that YAML exists. It's so that you don't have to track it across the mailing list.
But like, usually it's at least for me, I was the person like PR'd in all the exceptions this time around and gathered all the information to put back.
So imagine a world where you're curious about which SIGs are consistently slip on tracking enhancements or getting enhancements in on time. I wouldn't be able to do that unless I scan the mailing list or scan multiple tracking sheets across multiple releases.
Yep.
That's kind of the reason that the sheet, the YAML exists. We just haven't tied it to anything that's useful yet.
Okay,
but
I got you now.
It should continue to exist.
All right.
Sorry, Gwen.
I mean, I'm glad I wrote it down because it sounded like we were on slightly different pages about this.
In fact, I literally mentioned in my comment there would be to track those who are routinely tardy. Is the one?
Yes. Right, and then we can start to build metrics on this stuff, and maybe that's a key for, do we ping these SIGs earlier, right? Stuff like that.
There you go. This is in fact why we track enhancements. Exceptions separately. And let's close it.
I don't know if we should actually close if this is something we do eventually want to handle. I do like the idea of setting it to like lifecycle frozen though.
Yeah, let's freeze it and keep it open. We still want to do something with it eventually. When eventually is a question mark.
Boom. And remove it from the milestone. Okay. Let's leave it in the backlog. Cool. fixes and defining exceptions for non-supported releases. Did we see any updates on this? Hoi. Yep, it looks like a backlog.
Who is this assigned to? Don't tell me it's me.
Um,
I'm one of the people. It looks like
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. What do we want to do here? We should get this in this cycle. This has been almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's simple enough to say what it's essentially documenting what we're willing to do in terms of critical bug fixes for about to be non-supported branches.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's enough to write up a blurb on that. I wonder if I can give that to someone.
Looks like Tim did a couple of made a comment on it.
Yes, he actually did some updates to the.
There's a kept being drafted by Working Group LTS that I think could start to define the remaining portion here during the trailing period, like we're in right now for 113, where we've declared it's out of support, but the CI is running for a few more days. So yeah. I think that will be clarified soon.
That clarification should not come out of Working Group LTS. That should come out of us.
Sure. But I think that their kept that logically comes out of that group is going to drive a conversation around this. It's shining a light on the fact that this period exists undocumented. And
do we have an ETA for that cap?
This
if
week?
We don't.
This week, okay. Next week? Yep.
Okay. I was going to say if we don't, we should get the documentation in sooner than that.
And there's a contributor summit session that we'll be talking about it as well. So this this fuzzy period, I expect to get much more attention in the next 3 weeks, and hopefully we can close this.
Can we just drop that on the issue and ping any stakeholders for Working Group LTS so that we have someone accountable?
Wait, how does that work?
Comment.
WG LTS maybe? WG space LTS? I don't. WG space LTS, or it might be area LTS. I'm not sure if that even exists. And yeah, and Maria was saying ping them. There might be a team.
Okay. Let's see. For input on what specific? What's the KEP number?
For ETA on KEP, as well as info on the contributor summit session.
And I think you'll have to put the new line between LTS and 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's the KEP number?
There isn't one yet. It's being drafted.
Right.
And then also see if they have a GitHub team to tag.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are. Cool. Good. Oh, and that works even. Perfect. All right. Cool. And release team meeting calendar event has broken hyperlink. Can we put that into progress, Tim?
Yeah. So I wasn't sure who had created the invite. I think it was you. So yeah. It's an easy fix up just to edit and send update. So basically, if you look at the invite, it looks like it's pointing to the right place, but if you mouse hover in the invite, it shows a different link behind the text. And so when you click on it, you go to something different than what you're clicking on. So that That row right there is what you want to put in the link in the calendar.
Okay. Great. Let me assign myself. Oh, I'm already assigned. Haha. Yay. Awesome. Great. All right, that is the rest of the board. We have 8 minutes to spare. Did anyone bring cookies?
Brought coffee.
Wait,
All right, I've got a dash.
All right.
Same.
Thanks for your time, everyone. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.